Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. This is another episode of our this new initiative we're doing in association with Polygon Advocate team. And as you know, I'm Tamaghna Basu, founder and CEO of DeTaSecure and creator of GETSecured. We're a cybersecurity company. And I'm privileged and glad to have Mitchell as one of the guests here. So thank you so much. It's so lovely to have you here. And I know you're busy, you've been traveling. We really appreciate that, taking time out for us. So let's get started. And we'd love to know who you are, what you have been doing, and how is your journey so far? Like, what kind of challenges you faced, and what made you who you are today. So yeah, please go ahead, Michelle.
Sure. Well, that's a big question. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Just glad to be helpful to the community. For those who don't know me, my name is Mitchell Amador. I'm the founder and CEO of Immunify, blockchain's leading bug bounty platform. So if you've seen these big vulnerabilities, especially affecting smart contract applications, DeFi applications, layer one, layer two blockchains, typically the white hat says the disclosures will be brokered by us through Immunify, hopefully toward the effect of a very large and healthy reward. As to what made me do these things and what's taken me today and what lessons have been learned, it's too long a list. But the short answer is I was been working in the space for almost a decade now, just about a decade. And if you've been around a long time, you've built lots of things, you've dealt with attacks, you've dealt with scams, you've been screwed over. So have all of us. And I really wanted to change that. I really wanted to see if we could solve this problem. I think that security is the problem blocking our industry from doing and achieving amazing things for humankind. And so it's like, okay, well, why not? Let's go figure out the solution. What's the hardest problem? Hardest problem is responsible disclosure. Okay, we'll fix that. And so Immunify was born.
Great, great, great. And how long the Immunify is in existence? How long you have been doing
It's
this?
quite a young company. It's still only 2.5 years that it's been around.
Okay, okay. But in Web3, 2.5 years is like a decade in Web2. That's what people call, right? So
Then we're very old. We're very old people.
right, 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 right. Great. And I think as I said, it's very interesting. And as I said, we definitely need more people like you guys, as senior people who can actually come as a thought leader and help us out. In terms of security, help the community, guide them. So in that context, recently DeFi Security Summit happened, and ECC happened. I know you were one of the speakers there. So how was your experience there? What was your key takeaway? What you liked, what you didn't like, if anything you want to say.
Well, it was a good time. I got to see lots of old friends, got to make some new friends, got to see some funny happenings. So, definitely was a good experience. Would go again. So much activity going on the security side. I think a lot of it's going to go nowhere, but I think a lot of it's going to go somewhere very exciting. So we've seen this proliferation of monitoring tooling. We've seen the improvement in toolings by auditors. Think Harvey, think Scribble, by Consensus Diligent, think the whole Trail of Bits toolkit, think the other tools built by a variety of other private firms. Think of the innovation going on with people like, or I should say firms like Spearbit. There's all sorts of things happening here that are very big and very exciting. Not least our work at Immunify. Of course, we shared some insights into how very difficult bug reports are actually processed there and what could make the difference between, say, a 100K payout and $1 million payout and everything in between. So for anybody interested in how that process goes, you can find a video by Adrian Hetman, who heads strategy in Immunify. But all things considered, it was a blast. I wish I had seen you there. I think you would have had a blast too.
Great, great, great. Yeah, I think I missed it. I would definitely next time will be there. So as you rightly pointed out, even I've been observing that there are a lot of new trends happening, a lot of new researches, are happening. There are very lot of set of good youngsters are coming up, and they're trying to do a lot of hackathons and new prototyping and all these things. So, what do you think the trend in Web3 security is going? What's the future of Web3 security? How does it look?
Fragmentation,
Mm-hmm.
fragmentation by category. You're
Mm-hmm.
seeing, for example, you're seeing these, specific security build outs that everybody building the MPC wallets, right, and
Mm-hmm.
different wallet configurations and wallet management platforms and all that. For exchange applications or user-facing applications or these kind of CFI, these primarily Web 2, but on-chain integrated businesses. So you're seeing they're developing their own security stack in many ways. Then you're seeing the kind of on-chain or the DeFi security stack, which is developing in a quite distinct way. Then you're seeing, within those categories, you're seeing fragmentation of the market. So auditing remains fragmented as ever. Monitoring, which is not a mature market at all. It's still very nascent. It's not really proven out at all. People don't know if it's going to work in the way that they promise it will. But it's already fragmented into a dozen or so players. And there's not even a market there yet. Certainly, at least a dozen companies doing bug bounty in crypto along with us in Immunify, even though we occupy the majority of the market share. And certainly on the auditing side, it's just there's so many firms that it could be hard to tell who's who. So fragmentation is really the name of the game that we're seeing in many, many different ways and many different expressions. As to the technology, these products are getting more secure. So the frequency of hacks is increasing, but I would not say that the magnitude is. I would say the magnitude is gradually getting better and better. And so all these proactive investments by our industry into the security stack are starting to pay off. And we're on that road where you're getting to less than a percentage of value on-chain compromise per year, ideally much less than that. And it's at that point there where we can really absorb the vast majority of the world's financial activities or other kind of interesting commercial use cases, because we can provide a very safe and reliable infrastructure to support it. So that is exciting, very exciting to see what we're doing is actually working in the aggregate. And there's lots of niche kind of specific technical applications and breakthroughs that are happening, but that quickly branches out into an infinite series of rabbit holes. So I don't know if we want to go there.
Right. And that's a different discussion we can have for hours. Right. So that's a very good point. And I just want to take one step further into this, because don't you think also more fragmentation would be a bit confusing for the common users or the projects? Because we are from security, we actually understand this. Now there is a layered security approach we follow. There are different kind of zero trust model we follow in the Web 2 world. But one concern I personally have is fragmentation is good. There are very specific problem statements. People are going deep dive and solving it. But from a common user point of view, it looks like more of a bit confusing, that which solution to pick, which solution to choose. So what do you think about this? What's your take on that?
Well, you're absolutely right. It does. It sucks. Because who's which auditor? This is the classic problem that we had for years, right? Which auditor can you trust? Now we have that problem across the entire security stack. Which at least I'm proud to say, at least for our part, we're still strong enough in the Immunify front that we can make a very clear and simple calculus for almost anybody who wants to build an on-chain application. But I think broadly speaking, across the rest of the security stack, you have a lot of uncertainty, and you need to go and do a bunch of extra make work in order to validate who is a serious security vendor, who's a serious supporter, who's a real, an effective security partner to you for the long term, and who's not. But at the same time, it's unavoidable. Okay, like everybody is looking for the best expertise here. There are not obvious kind of competitive advantages or moats or benefits from scale that occur in most of these businesses. You notice that by looking at auditors, for example, and you realize that the best auditors are boutique auditors. And conversely, look at the monitoring example. There's no obvious advantages. Everybody is basically using the same data set. Nobody's got unique data. Everybody's using similar types of techniques. There are better and worse, UIs and UXs for the end users. But at the end of the day, you have to trust that their black box system is going to work to save you in your moment of need, and that's something you can do on pure faith. And everybody's collateral and marketing material is going to look exactly the same. And so it just comes down to a matter of who you trust, which lends itself, right? That's why there are so many players, to fragmentation. So it's kind of unavoidable that we're going in this direction. There have been a few minor attempts to kind of consolidate and bring together some of these niches and create leading standards, but so far I don't think any of them have succeeded, other than possibly Immunify itself, and then Gnosis Safe is a multi-sig standard.
No, very good point. I think this is something even I'm personally being very concerned, and definitely try to explore and keep talking to other people like you guys to see what can be done there. But great, moving on. I think one more question I have is regarding the community part of it, since it's for the community, as I said, and you are one of the, let's say, subject matter expert and one of the and a thought leader in this space. What would be your suggestions or your tips or any guidance you would like to provide, or something you want to share with the community, how they should prepare with these emerging threats or the trends which is happening?
Sure. I would say that if you're looking for the bleeding edge of cybersecurity, you're in the right place. We are doing things here in the blockchain security community that are just kind of unimaginable or not feasible for a lot of the Web2 security community. So this is really the right place to be honing your craft, looking towards the future. It doesn't matter if you're already some blue teamer or red teamer somewhere. We have a lot to offer you. In fact, you have a big edge because you're going to bring that amazing know-how. The game is not deeply different. There are important structural differences between Web3 and Web2. But broadly speaking, most of the habits, most of the policies, most of the processes, most of the strategies are going to apply in the same or in a similar way, accounting for the fundamental differences in the technology stack. And then looking past that, right, if you're just getting into the space, then this is an incredibly exciting area. We don't have enough labor. There's not enough people. There's too many jobs. Like, you can easily go and kind of craft your own destiny in this industry, where in other places it might be more difficult. And if I might, make a proposition, the best possible way to do that is through, bug bounty hunting, which is much, much more lucrative and a much higher signal of seriousness and credibility in crypto and Web3. If you can find critical vulnerabilities in crypto, everybody's going to want to work with you because that is a unique type of skill set. That is the highest bar for security expertise that you can possibly demonstrate. So those are the, I guess, 3 pieces of advice that I would give to people looking at this and be like, well, this is really all that it appears to be, and you should all be joining us.
Great, great. Thank you so much. And this is basically very important. You said that I think bug bounty could be a very good starting point, because it's not about what you say, but your work should speak about you, speak for yourself, right? So when you find a bug and you prove yourself, that makes a lot of sense. So one quick follow-up question on that is, how can somebody prepare for a bug bounty? Any resources, any tutorial or something you can just recommend, which either your company or someone provides?
We have created a whole host of materials. You can go to immunify.com/learn, and there you're going to find tons of stuff. Basically, we aggregated a variety of the best learning resources via the ins and outs of Solidity or Viper, be it blockchain fundamentals, be it common attack patterns, be it a whole series. We've created dozens of these bug report findings where we look through historical cases of critical vulnerabilities and ask, how did this come to be? How exactly did it work? How could it have been exploited, and how could it have been mitigated? So this combination of resources should be sufficient to get just about anyone up to the point of proficiency where they can actively start participating in the bug bounty world. Beyond that, you can find a lot of great security resources on crypto security and Twitter, which is just a great place to look. You can also look at a variety of auditors. So I'd look at Consensus Diligence. I'd look at the guys at DDoB. I'd look at the guys at IOCero and check their blogs. They have tons of great material that can help you get where you want to go.
Great, great, great. I think this is a very good reference, and we definitely will highlight that as part of this video also in the comment and other sections. And one last question I have for you, Mitchell, is any recent hack or recent good research you came across which you find it really interesting and you wanted to probably quickly talk about it?
Sure. I would say the recent Viper vulnerabilities in the compiler are particularly keen. I won't say too much more than that because there's lots of information on it and lots more coming. But if you're interested in the space, take a look, because that is the type of existential threat we face every day. And that's why, the work that we do in the security community is so important. Without our work, nothing is possible.
Great, great. I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much, Mitchell. Again, I really appreciate your time and effort. So we really hope this is going to be a great key takeaway. I mean, I think there's a lot of key takeaway even for me for this from this quick talk. And I wish you all the best. And I would love to see more you as a speaker in different conferences and rallies, so that people can learn a lot from Immunify. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the warm compliments. Just happy to be helpful. With luck, we'll see each other around. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Yeah. See you. Bye.